Is this Tuesday, the 7th of July 2026. I thought I'd do a quick video clip to say hi, so you can all see what I look like today. Just give you an update in regards to my set of circumstances. I'm still waiting for the judges to make a decision on my court cases. So I should have a judgment soon. I'll let you know of the outcome. At this point, I don't feel to show any more evidence just to save the embarrassment on the Crown. But I think you've all got the idea of what I'm going through. It's been a situation where I have been used like a product or an object or a project by different secret societies where they've dug up my past historically to use against me. However, they are called privacy breaches, and that's why we have laws. That's why I use the protected disclosure to stop those privacy breaches continuing, because eventually it becomes a conspiracy and a lot of innocent civilians get lured into something they know nothing about, or get involved in something they know nothing about, and it backfires. So at this point in time, I'm doing really well. As you can see, I'm recovering, I'm healing, I'm going forward. I've been doing counselling, which is really helping me out to go forward. I'm loving having my own space, so in my own independence slowly. So I just wanted to kind of, before I do another little clip, a conspiracy starts from, to undo a conspiracy, you have to find out, I mean, obviously there's a very serious malfunction of the court or in the government system. A lot of it I didn't understand until I went through the process myself, and then I realized that I've actually been used globally, historically, and now I can actually prove that by the opposition using substitutes, or they call them subways, and then they've turned my life into like a relationship love triangle, okay? And that's why I've been denouncing the people, the originals that has been part of the game historically. I've had to denounce them because it's a warlike game, but it's actually real, meaning one will survive and the other one won't, okay? So that's why I've had to denounce and for public intervention, because I've definitely needed that, because when secret societies are conspiring secretly, there is no hope for the originals. So I'm basically up against people who have turned my life into a game using substitutes, coding globally, which is so dangerous. However, it is working, it is diminishing as I denounce and just letting everyone in on the game, okay? Because in the beginning, in the first instance, a lot of people don't even know what they're getting themselves into, but someone is going around using different human beings as part of the game that is actually really a really serious conspiracy crime game against the originals, who's actually locked out, persecuted, and at risk of being murdered. Okay, but however, I have survived it, and I'm just getting to that point where I'm ready to reconnect with different people. For me, I love my space. I'm an introvert, and I know there's a lot of people around the world that is just like me, an introvert, just want to mind their own business, do their own thing, and just get on with their whatever it is their journey is. I'm just like that. I've been reconnecting lately, also with a church, and I'm really enjoying my time at the moment in that area. So at this point in time, I'm just waiting to hear from the judge in all honesty, my situation is still serious, and I don't feel that I'm going to be be safe until I get my full independence back. So I'm really hoping for good news, because I'm at the mercy of the judges to do the right thing. They have their ways of finding investigation and finding out who is the truth. So basically, I'm waiting for the judge to make that decision. But it's the in between where that is dangerous, where secret societies are secretly conspiring to sabotage. Okay, but I know also that in New Zealand, stalking is now illegal. It's always been illegal. It's just people don't know how to use the laws to stop it from happening. And then when we have the police who won't intervene, or for whatever reason they won't use their services to intervene for the public. I don't know why, but the law clearly indicates that they should be investigating and finding out why all these things are happening when people put in complaints. However, if the police is not doing what they're supposed to do, you can do exactly what I'm doing, build up a case against the police or whatever body corporate that's in trouble that is not doing what they're supposed to do, and then just take them through the courts. However, my case is not even meant to be in the civil, it's meant to be in a criminal, and I've just been subject to illegal Commonwealth games. Okay, so if you don't know what is an illegal Commonwealth game, is where other secret societies are using substitute as a foot in the door to conspire to take over somebody's personal space, personal property, and secretly switch. Okay, so that's what's happened to me since 2010, and now I can prove that legally in the criminal jurisdiction. The other thing that have been going against me, people are using the excuse that I don't have my driver's license, so that I don't have a law degree for me to represent myself. In New Zealand, you can represent yourself. In fact, on the Ministry of Justice website, it clearly says you can represent yourself. And I think I already showed you the laws that allows me to represent myself since 2010. Now, if I don't make this journey, if I don't get myself out of it, if the cases go against myself, and if I don't make it, there's sufficient evidence for a criminal barrister to prosecute everyone for impeding rescue, for conspiracy to commit an offence, and even find out who's been stealing tax evasion, because I know that's what I've been used for. I'm talking about the Unison Dance Crew. I know that they've been that intimately studying me, a scientific experiment on me as a human being, and I know that I've always known that is illegal for anyone to do that to anybody. What I'm going through is illegal. Okay, there's nothing in law that condones anyone just to do what they're doing. But the motive and intent obviously is when they're going to commit a crime, they don't want it to backfire. But unfortunately, I'm still within my right to stand against and protect myself and my property and my family. Okay, so on this video clip, I'm going to go over my original situation, because I know that a lot of people have prejudiced me because I'm an immigrant. People have dug up my past to use against me, and they've basically endangered my life and endangered everybody else. So I'm going forward by dealing with everything that I feel in my heart God wants me to deal with legally in the criminal, in the courts. And I'm just kind of really honestly all depending on God to provide and to confirm which direction to go with everything. So on this clip, I'm going to use this clip just to go over just going back to when I got married, and I'll show you the photo because it does link back to the church. So there were people committing treason just by committing treason by preachers. Like I said in the protected disclosure, there's a consistency in my breach complaints. Okay, I know time has gone, but those things did happen. So even if people move overseas or whatever happens, it can be found out whether those people, if they're involved in a conspiracy involving conspiring to destroy or kill or take over a specific group of people, whatever it may be, then no one is above the law. Anyone can be made accountable. Anyway, at this point in time, I just wanted you just to do this clip so you can see for yourself. I'm doing really well. Okay, I'm healing. I've been connecting and just going forward in a positive positive way. My biggest concern of what I've gone through is the lockout and the intimacy of people knowing I am so private. Everyone who knows me, and I know there's a lot of people that do know me personally or do live like me, where you are private and you mind your own business, and you're an introvert, because that's what I am. I'm an introvert. Okay, so they've tried that she's mentally unwell. There's definitely nothing wrong with me mentally. However, I have developed a mental injury because of what the government has used me for secretly. I'm talking about my court cases and making me repeat, addressing the crime scenes. So at this point in time, I've got quite a few other things going on. That's huge. So I don't feel it's time for me now to mention that, but I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing legally to go forward. So thank you for those who are supporting me and believe in me. I really feel, I know that I was already exploited. There's something really horrific about being an exploited victim, where your liberty is gone. You're fighting for your liberty, you're fighting for your dignity, and some of the things that people have done and put out there about me indirectly by the opposition, using me for a relationship scam or a form of, to defame secretly, has been horrific and really hurtful. And it's just part of being persecuted and being targeted. So once you know those that you are being targeted, it does make a difference that it's not you. Okay, so do what you got to do to protect yourself and protect your family. So I hope you'll find my videos helpful for yourself and for your court cases. But I will let you know whatever the outcome is from the judge. I don't feel in my heart to show any more evidence at this time in regards to what I submitted to the Court of Appeal. So I'm waiting to hear from 2 different judges. I'm just going through the process. Do keep in mind, I have actually exhausted the government system. Okay? There's a very serious malfunction of the government system, and because of the seriousness of the things that have happened to me, it's a malfunction. It's criminal negligence that even though I was begging and pleading to the courts to help me, and then I've ended up where I am today, not because of my own doing. It's been a trafficking ring, cohesion and by force. So as the criminal negligence continues, everything becomes accumulative. Okay, so it's a serious violent criminal case right now at this point in time, and the limitation laws do not apply, or it comes into place for very serious with what I've gone through. So I'm just praying for a really good outcome and a result. I just want to go forward like anybody else. So I've been really concerned about this twinning and the switching and how easy it is to steal someone's identity and to secretly kill someone without getting caught. Okay, so I'll just leave it at that, and just hope you enjoy the rest of this video, and I will keep you guys updated. Thank you.
Okay, guys, so just repeat the date. Today is actually Tuesday, the 7th of July 2026. So welcome to Authentic Ingenuity Entrepreneur. My name is Minna Crichton. That was me on that video clip. I'm the narrator of this video clip and all my other video clips on my YouTube channel, Authentic Ingenuity Entrepreneur, and also on my Facebook page. Both of my social media platform is also an exhibit to my court case, because I'm dealing with my personal property legally in the civil jurisdiction. However, at this point in time, is active in the Court of Appeal in the higher courts. Hoping everything will get some closure. Hoping to get some closure so I can go forward. Then I'll be dealing with my other cases after that. So I'm just doing this clip as an update and just to keep you all, tuned in with what I'm doing, because I know that I've gained a lot of positive audience, and I just know that there's something in my video clips or from my personal testimony in court cases. It's a real one. I'm legally litigating myself. I am a paralegal. That's what I'm called under the laws, or that is the job title. I don't have a law degree. I'm self-representing myself, and if you've been watching one of my video clips, I've already shown the laws that does entails or allows me to represent myself, because for example, if I don't make it, or a good result doesn't come out of my court cases, and I don't make it, meaning if I don't live or get murdered or something happen, I have no intentions of committing suicide or anything like that, even though it's been horrific for me. There's sufficient evidence there for a criminal barrister from the Crown to prosecute everyone. The intimacy is real. The relationships scam is real. I've had to denounce all the originals in my personal property. They are the conspirator, so it's me against theirs. They're fighting for their reputation and for their property, and obviously they have money, and versus myself, who is representing myself. But I am actually the complainant. I'm the victim in the offences, and I am representing myself. Okay, today I feel in my heart I need to do this video clip in going on in regards with reference to my first marriage to my children's father. This here is Pastor King and Pauline King, who's just passed away recently, and this is my mum and my dad, who's also passed away. Okay, so I got married at the Church of Christ, New Zealand, and Pastor King took our wedding. This is the children's father, Te Okatai Noema. Why I feel this information is relevant, because the conspirators, or those conspiring, or the opposition, built an alliance using him, his name, his identity. I'd say he'd be a victim too in what I've gone through. To some extent. I can only just basically only speak for myself, but in what I have actually witnessed in the game, because of the coding people have used, they've coded him globally, like I've been coded too, but this illegal Commonwealth game is like, I'm just trying to explain the game so everyone can understand this new age system and what they're doing to people, because it's a global conspiracy, but they're using turning people into products, and then everyone is coded. Okay, all the originals are coded, all the participants are coded, and then we've got famous people, millionaires, billionaires globally, whether they're singers using their lyrics as part of the game. That is still serious. That is still a conspiracy using lyrics. The point is they're making money out of the game without the consent of those that they are using, because I have never consented to it. I don't actually even believe my ex really realizes that he too has been coded. But he's had a really different background. We had nothing in common when we first met. We were just teenagers. However, he is still the father of my children, and he too has been used. So basically, I'm just pointing out this is the original. These are the original in my life. Okay, so basically. But this global game and secret societies, they're embedding themselves, they're animating and inanimating the originals. Okay, the point is I'm just trying to prove to everyone what is animate or inanimate. And I have been denouncing and just exposing who I believe is part of the game on my social media for those that are actually watching. So it's a matter of me just actually showing the tactics of those that are secretly coding and conspiring or in my personal space. This is why privacy laws are so serious, especially when they've turned it into like a global, and the system is now where there's a third party, the substitutes obviously, and even the fact that the Crown is they are a party to my case, but they're actually their defendants, and I'm the one having a case against them because of what they've done to me. But they are using substitutes, okay, because nothing they've done as far as my case is concerned has been natural. Okay, they're using substitutes, and then they're using the people or their people, whether it's their culture, whether it's their religion, their race, to help them. That's why they're inciting or coding people to let other people globally to help them. And these people are actually flying from overseas. I mean, you're talking about millionaires and billionaires with a lot of monies, and in all honesty, I am no match to any of them. However, they have used me historically for those purposes and relationship scams, and they have gone around digging up my past. So I felt I felt in my heart to put this up because I just feel this is where my case is at. I felt it was time to basically because I've been talking a lot about my ex. He's actually not a wild person. He's harmless, and I've already shown you that the protected disclosure that I had out on him. The marriage was not a good one. It was very bad, and there's a lot of people who can witness to that. That's why I got a protected disclosure. It was a final protected disclosure, and that's sufficient evidence enough to prove to the court that what I've come out of. Like I've come out of a very serious situation where it involved family violence, and it wasn't a pleasant time for me. It's just a part of my life that I don't want to kind of relive. But this game that I've been trapped in, people have kind of like made me his property. It's not him. He doesn't have the money. My ex does not have the money or the power to stalk me 24/7. He's actually moved on. He has another female, a Chinese female, and a daughter to her. So he's basically moved on in his real life, and I've kind of trying to move on. But other cultures, other religions, and other secret societies have basically made me like I'm his property. That's part of the game. Because some cultures they believe in for better or for worse, and that I'm not actually free unless he dies. I don't believe in that. Okay, there's nothing in the Bible that says anything about that. Some people do believe in that. Good on you, but that's not my belief. So I've been basically for nearly 20 years, I brought up my kids by myself with the help of Pastor King and some other people in my life that I looked up to when they were younger. But I'm just explaining the game as how I see it and how I have been used personally by secret societies, turning it into an illegal Commonwealth game where, obviously he is Cook Island, I'm Samoan, and then Pastor King is European. That is how the game and the agencies, what I'm saying is they're pairing up together, is such an unfair game. They've basically played games with my love life. Okay, they're just taking turns, and then someone betrays you, but it's all part of the game. So I'm just explaining the game. So in the criminal courts, this is how my case would be described to the judge. But my video clips are also an exhibit, and I've already put that in my applications to the judge that my video clips are an exhibit, so they would be looking at all my video clips. Okay, so this here is a recommendation from Church of Christ. That's the old Church of Christ before everything changed. I'm actually back there again, guys. I'm now currently, I did go to Glen Eden, but I've moved, so I'm going to Mount Roscoe at the moment, and I'm actually really enjoying it there. But this here is the Church of Christ letterhead. This is Pastor King and Tiakotai Noema. That's the children's father's name. I married him, and so my name was Minna Kreishin when I was working for Department of Courts. Okay, because I know there's been a lot of rumors that I'm an immigrant, I'm illegal immigrant, and I'm telling you, there's been a lot of gossip. People say a lot of crap, basically, but they can't prove it. Okay, but that's what defamation does. I'm not an illegal immigrant. There's nothing legally in law that says I am an illegal immigrant other than other people gossiping secretly, and that is what they're doing. So this here says this is to confirm that Mrs. M. Noema is an active member of the congregation of our Glen Eden Church. She has a pleasant let's see, it's a bit hard because of the light. Let me see what it said. She has a pleasant, outgoing personality, has always proved reliable in her areas of responsibility, and conducted herself with integrity. We are pleased to be able to recommend her. And this here is actually an exhibit in the court. Okay. That's my evidence that I submitted to court, and it's got Pastor Cyril King signature and name right here. Okay, so this here is an exhibit in the court. I also, from my own personal discovery, I realized that while I was working for my employer at the courts, while I was actually working as a court deputy registrar, I have a reason to believe other people were being secretly animated too in my private life while I was working for the government. This is how the illegal Commonwealth games, what they did to me secretly, if you can understand what I'm saying. So basically I'm saying I've been an animated or an animate product. So what I'm saying that I realized that other people in my private life were also being secretly animated, but they didn't even realize they were. How do I know? It's because of the inciting. I started just clicking on and started realizing what they were doing. They were inciting and using their names and inciting it on television or in their ads, on just by using social media to update their followers or their people. Okay, this here are my babies. This is Houston, this is Daniel, and this is Kimberly. and this is me. Okay. I mean, this whole thing, like, that their lives have been in danger too. Like, that's the problem with being the originals. All the originals are all in danger if they don't realize that their privacy is gone and they're actually targeted. Okay, this is Kimberly and Daniel and Houston when they were a lot younger, Okay, this here was a church picnic at Church of Christ. This here is Annie, my sister, and that's Kimberly there. And then I know that these people here, they're linked to other people in my private life. It's David Sutherland's daughter, Rebecca, and then that's Natasha Donaldson. So all the originals from my past are somehow all intertwined in what I'm going through. So nothing about me has been a secret. But I have felt for my own personal property, to save my own life and for my court cases, that I must actually deal with my personal property legally, and that's what I'm doing. Okay, I divorced my ex. This here's information's been on my heart to talk about, and that is, I actually divorced my ex on or about like December the 6th. 2006, and then my concern was that somebody internally was stealing my identity in the moment. I just knew while I was working for my employer, okay, because I was having issues with somebody keep changing, because I changed my name at the same time I divorced, but somehow my documents didn't link up to what I did on the actual original when I changed my name. And then I went and changed my name with all the other body corporates, but somebody else was secretly glued to me and changing everything back to my married name. So there was a bit of a confusion going on, not on my part, just people tampering and entering wrong information in body corporates. So these are the kind of things you got to look out for when you think you are being targeted and someone is stealing your identity, okay? And I've had that problem internally. I had to tell somebody, I had to change, let somebody when I was working for my employer, that I had changed my name. I did that to protect my children because I knew of what I was going through. I knew I was a targeted individual. I just knew things were really serious for me. And just as well as I did, because now I'm able to retrieve all that information. And just keep in mind, I actually divorced myself. I legalized myself, my divorce papers, and you can do that. But we get some people who are just so stuck up and jealous, and they go around and undo everything because they just out of pure jealousy or hate or whatever it is. But unfortunately, it's illegal to alter or to use the body corporate's name or court seal, or use your occupation to create fraudulent information. Okay, so I officially divorced my children's father on this day. But then other people, other body corporates or other religions have made me out to be my ex-husband's property. I'm just explaining the game, okay? And that's the coding too. And the coding is purpose for other gangs. So basically he was also at risk, and we all know gangs are very territorial. We also know some cultures and some religions are very territorial. So people were kind of building some kind of alliance that I'm his property when I'm not. So that's the frustration I've been up against, in the cybercrime and the secret societies secretly doing what they're doing. That is absolutely illegal. And then to actually watch the government's video clips coding also. I have found personally the the cybercrime and the stalking that embedded themselves in my space, and they walk around like nothing's wrong, but I know that they are being they are being used, trafficking by somebody, but I can't do anything about it. All I can do is either take evidence of my suspicion and submit it to the police. But that is my witness of my environment where I've gone. I have found it hard because people have taken turns, because everybody knows I'm targeted, and obviously there's a court case pending at the moment. So I'm always at high risk, but I'm just trusting God in the moment and just going with it. So all I'm doing basically is just explaining the game from my point of view. I'm the victim in this game, and I'm just explaining my environment. So if you think you're targeted, you will go through what I'm going through. Okay, my other concern about what the government has put me through, like since they derailed me out of my job, little did I know that I was actually being locked out, and I've been subject to just doing all my documentations and then sending it to them by email or to their hub desk. But basically, I'm sending them all my personal documentations, all of it, historically, and they are retrieving them all by their email. The problem that I have with the system is that we don't get to talk to them or anything. That we're basically locked out while they are retrieving all our originals. Okay, and but it's so easy to steal the originals' identity and steal everything secretly, and that's what I have found with what I've gone through, how easy it is, especially with my experience, how easy the system is now set out to people just like sending. We just have the hub desk, and we're just sending them our emails and all our real life documentations, and they can easily steal your identity. And that is a massive problem I have found with the system. This here is just all my identities all exhibited. This is me when I was working for the Department of Courts. Here's the date. I was Mina Noema then, and my first day was 1st of August 2022. Okay, I was a court deputy registrar. I'm not an illegal immigrant, and I wasn't just somebody that just came through that just wing it or whatever. I mean, I know exactly what the opposition is saying and doing. So I'm very gifted. I know exactly their mindset and what they're thinking. I can even ascertain their next plan and next plot, just by watching their coding and listening to their messages online. So it's quite serious. But when I started with the courts, I was Mina Noema, and I didn't break any laws to get my job. I believe God gave me my job, and He really did. So I passed all security, but people have actually been digging up my past to use against me. Okay. And this is how the criminal alliance has been built. So now the way to find out who's been doing the stealing of tax invasion and other things, it's all in my profile. I'm not sure if I turned off the camera for this one, but I just wanted to verify that I did get divorced in this date. That's why I said it was 2006. So when I changed my name, I went back to my maiden name, and I changed my name with All Body Corporates and with the Ministry of Justice in 2006. But I was having trouble internally. Somebody internally was doing the opposite. When I've asked them to do something, they won't do it. They won't comply. So, we're kind of powerless when whoever's behind the scene just doing their own thing, because they just think, but what they're actually doing is they're actually creating evidence. Okay. But I did my own divorce paper. I didn't get a lawyer because the laws allowed me to do your own divorce. So I'd got my own divorce paper, and this is sealed, so it's a legal document. It's not illegal. So basically, historically, my case is definitely it's where they've dehumanized me. They basically have dehumanized me. They've dug up my past. I have also found personally that some of the people in the call centers, or that are receiving my phone calls on the hub, have actually been people for the criminal alliance against myself. That are like, and when I'm submitting or asking them something, it's actually I'm asking straight away in the hands of the people that oppose me or is behind on making sure that I don't progress at all, and or even secretly stealing. That's my personal experience, and they've done that with the relationship scam historically. So basically, it is definitely warlike. Okay, I'm fighting for my liberty and my dignity. But I'm being bullied and ganged on by the government. Sometimes I feel like the whole world is against me. And I have to say, it has not been easy. Okay, but these people are vultures. They're intimately glued to everything, to anything and everything. Okay, in the relationship scam, and they've all secretly joined forces behind the scene. And it's definitely a trafficking in persons case because of the intimacy. So basically, the best way to explain this illegal Commonwealth game is like a Ponzi scheme, where either the different countries or different cultures are pairing up. Okay, that's why I've had to denounce what they were doing. But I'm a product, and but their coding is illegal, because what they're actually saying is that they're actually seeking help from those within my environment to help them. Okay, that's why I've had to denounce the coding. And the game is where other countries, like I said, all the countries are ganging up on the originals, or the different states, or religion, or race. And people do die or go missing because of it. Don't take any of what I say on my posts, or what I these are the things that I have actually witnessed personally. All right, guys, I think I will leave it at there. So basically, I'm part of being locked out. We no longer talk to anyone other than the hub desk. And if you're lucky, we like they're using different people every time, and that is my personal experience. That even like one-on-one, they're using different people, different different times. Why are they doing that? I believe it's because if through an investigation, and no one is particularly pointed at as the person as the original, if you know what I mean, what I'm saying. So unfortunately, there's a lot of culpable homicide, or even because attempted murder and all that kind of serious violent offences in my cases now. So I'm just looking for good news for me to be able to go forward. All right, guys, I'll leave it at that. I don't want to make this video too long. But I will keep you guys updated. And thank you for keeping an eye on me, and thank you for the righteous people, for those that are supporting me, and making things a lot better. I really appreciate it, and I also thank you for your prayers. Yeah, so I will keep you guys all updated, and thank you for watching.